Hey guys, Stephanie here with Impulsive Auditions. We are watching Chantel Jeffries' Society Isn't Real. Well, according to Snyder's cut of the Justice League that recently came out last week, I believe Joker says that we live in a society.
Or you can just realize that, like, society's literally the whole thing is made up, and you can
Here
just
we
be
go.
like,
Here we go. We're in
And
the
you can just be
simulation,
like-
folks.
Hey. What you mean by that?
well, think about it. Everything
Flat
that we
Earth.
do in society is made up. Somebody had the idea to like do anything in society that we do, like what side of the road we drive on, like
Yeah, but
speaking a
why?
language.
Yeah,
That's
but why?
survival, and just like, but the point is they just add all these layers.
Efficiency, structure, and organization is the answer.
Well, you want to know what? There's a
I
lot
do.
of different ways to do things, and we've progressed, and times are changed so much to think that, like, it's not about why we do things. It's about the fact that we made it up, and people think that's not the case. You have to go into life realizing, like, somebody had this idea to do this like this, and we just decided to start doing things a certain
Like
way. And then you
podcasts
think,
and
like,
vlogs.
But not just for any reason.
no.
Hey, we
No,
created
no,
the
no.
wheel.
No. But what I'm saying, I'm not saying that everything that humans do. I'm saying society. There's people in the world that don't live in the same society as us. In every other country, their society is different.
Yeah.
Meaning they do things different ways. Meaning you can't think the only way that we do things is the only way, because it's not. So when you think about how much they vary, it's a lot. So to think about, like, every society varies so much and be like, okay, so, like, why do I think this is the only way to do things? It's just simply not. Like, there's infinite possibilities to do anything.
Where do you draw the line? So you're right now. You're talking about social construct, right?
Yeah.
But like there are people
who
out there.
tells you have to wake up in the morning and go to sleep at night? Who tells you, why can't you sleep, like, for 4 hours in the middle of the
and,
day?
thought is no. Hold on, stop. Wait 1
Biology
second.
says that your body hits a certain type of like REM at night, and so
No. But there, in your genetics, there's some people that perform better in the morning, and some people that perform better at the night. And the window of time, like, makes for a different type of sleeping schedule that you should be on. But yes, and
Okay,
it's in your genetics. But the thing is, people just think, oh, everybody wakes the same time and goes to sleep. That's not necessarily the most efficient way for you.
But
But
we've created a
nowadays, you don't need to do that,
But
right?
we've created a structure. Society is a structure that
Yes.
is organized to get from A to B in the most efficient,
Yeah, but
effective way
guess what?
possible.
You don't.
For
but
who?
that's
But
but
for
for
who?
who?
The
And
mass, the mass,
and when
the
you think
masses.
no, but
the
listen,
masses
but
are
country.
losing. The masses
Let
are
the
losing.
guest
The masses
talk!
are losing. They're poor. They can't afford to feed their children. The masses are
I don't
losing.
think the masses.
That's
They
the
are.
point.
There's
I
a
don't
ma-
think
That's
there's-
what I'm saying.
I don't
That's
think
the
the
point.
majority of
The ma-
Americans
Jeff,
are quote
the
unquote.
masses-
poor.
the ma-
welcome back
they're
to
not-
the new
Oh,
conspiracy
slow down,
episode
slow
on
down.
Impulsive.
Slow down. The
Go.
masses are not poor. They're not. But there is
Well,
a
you just
tremendous.
said that.
Okay, well,
Stop
just stop.
for a second.
Okay,
Everyone stop. There's
No,
a tremendous,
Mike, you need to stop.
tremendous amount of people in this country who are either A, homeless, B, hungry, C,
She can't make her point if people are interrupting her. Now, they're going off the middle piece of her story because she hasn't gotten to the point yet, and the definitive point that she's trying to make, they're cutting her off in the middle to try and give their explanations for why things are happening, but they're not letting her finish. You've got to let the guest finish talking so that you can actually say your piece, because when you are in a debate of two different pieces, and Trevor Noah is actually good at using this on the Daily Show, it's the yes but. Yes, you've got a valid point, but. So if they would let her finish, and then they can use the yes but X, Y, and Z, then they would be able to have more coherence in what they are saying. Now, they're cutting her off. They're not letting her finish. She's still got her point to make. And he's making this list, but he doesn't know what the end of the story is. For all you know, at the end, she could be like, yeah, and I believe that, yes, society isn't real, but X, Y, and Z.
underwater on their mortgage, D, in some level of strife in their life. Okay, so if poor is not the right word, whatever word you want to use, the system right now, the structure that you define as a system for the masses to succeed is actually a system for the top to succeed. The bottom gets to ride along.
It's made for you to say, like, if you work hard enough in these lower levels, you can work your way up so that when you get to the top, you know it's harder to get there, that, like, it's not in as much jeopardy, and, like, you've gotten your way there. Like, that's like what they tell you, and, like,
Is there a species where this is not true? humans are just ants. We're a giant
No,
ant
we're
colony, and
all
we're functioning
animals,
in the same
right?
exact way as ants.
So animals, it's interesting because like I have a bunch of cats, you guys know, and
Yep.
right? So I just got a Savannah cat, and to see
I
the way
saw
they
that.
interact, it's actually I have it. You can see it, you can read it, but the way that they interact, and you see, and like you learn so much because like animals, they go off of instinct, and they also have so much knowledge in their genetics. When they are born, they know how to do so many things, and we know how to do nothing. So when you think about the fact that like, okay, they just go about their life, they do all of these different things. My cat plays with my iPad, and like my cat is so smart,
Right.
but he knows how to like communicate with me and the other cats without words. So when you think about that, you're like, okay, so there's just different ways to do things, and it changes over time. We see like, oh, especially with the stock market recently and with crypto, guess what? Banks said this is the way things are done, and people said actually we can do whatever we want because society is made up and the banking system is made up,
That's
and
where
we
I
can
was-
make our own banking system,
that's where I
so
was
we can just do
just-
whatever we want.
that's
So
what-
if you
yeah.
think about like,
Exactly,
hey, this
so
idea was
don't cut
once
it
made
off.
up by someone who maybe probably necessarily wasn't, may or may not have been much smarter than me or you or anyone. They made up this way to do it, so maybe I can make up a new way that could be smarter. And the times have changed so much that like I think we're seeing a lot of structural changes in our society, and I think like that's a really great thing to think about, because when you think about the structures in society, like systematic racism and the fact that those things can be changed when people make an effort, it's great to see and like explore that. Because guess what? People are just going along with it because society told them that's the way it is. That's not true. That's like, and that's the point that I'm making.
Do you guys not feel that that could lead to a dangerous route?
What saying? Allowing people to have free, decentralized thoughts?
No, I mean, like, at what point do we cap it? Like
Like,
what
what
if
point do
my
we tell
race
people
feels
that-
like your race doesn't need to be on this planet anymore?
It shouldn't
Oh, no,
affect
I'm
other
not-
people.
what-
It
what
shouldn't.
do you-
Yeah.
What
Think
are you,
about it.
What
No,
are you
no, no.
What are you talking
That's
about
how
with?
people you would think they would open up those borders. Think about like Hitler's time.
You're
When he wanted to
okay.
fix the
Yeah,
economic
for sure.
state.
No, you're right.
And he
It's
thinks,
dangerous.
why are we
Yes, it's
supporting
dangerous.
Jewish-
It's dangerous, but if you confine,
you're-
hold on, if you confine or go, sorry.
No,
I was
no,
just
you
gonna
go.
say if you confine and constrict the potential upside as a action to mitigate the potential downside, you are limiting the ability for us to grow as a species.
I'm
Well,
saying
it's-
it's
it-
not
the
that easy to just change, because let me give you an example. 50 years ago, if you took the people from 50, or no, not even 20 years ago, took them 30 years ago, we'll meet at 30, so it makes sense. Took them from 30 years, brought them here. The way they would look at the way men are acting and women are acting, they'll be like, yo, this is crazy.
It's crazy, but we're progressing as like a society, and yes, like these. Yeah,
Which
it's
is
inevitable. It's the oscillation, and it never stops. And like that's what life is. Everything is a wave. It oscillates up and down, back and forth. The stock market, crypto, life, people's ideology, left and right, everything they do. So like you have to realize that it's when people feel they're getting pulled too far one way, then it like corrects. So it's just like
True.
It's-
But
I mean,
I don't
like-
think that should break our structure. And I'll tell you why. Because some people, honestly, shouldn't have that room to think. Because their thoughts are not going to be taken in the right place. Think about it.
Wait.
If you gave a guy in the street, like, okay, man, you're going to run this state right now. He might do better
it's
than
not
our
about- it's-
mayor now. But
So you're going into democracy, and you're going into the argument of the philosophical argument about democracy, and is it a true democracy if you let everybody vote, or is it a true democracy if you let the educated people who can make the best decisions because they have knowledge vote? And that has always been like,
can I give you an example?
but that has been an argument over the course of history on like what
Absolutely, yeah.
democracy
Can I-
truly
Back
is.
to the Senate, like the true Senate.
May
Yeah,
I give you
absolutely.
like one example of what I'm saying? People don't always have good in their heart. They might have good
Oh,
intentions
no.
for themselves, but they don't have good in their heart. Let me give you an example. When the Me Too movement happened, everybody was excited about it because like, yeah, fuck these motherfuckers that are taking their power to the next level, right? But then what happened right after that? We had girls that were lying, guys that were lying, and they were burning. We had a fucking guy from the Empire hurting himself in Chicago. That's what I'm saying. Like, what I'm saying is, dude, you want to give
Somalia.
these people power? And
Yo,
like,
But
listen,
no one said
here's-
about giving.
There
giving
should be
it-
one guy
when
that
you
I
have a
believe.
thought and you can make it an access, that's a
I
problem.
believe there should
is running for governor.
On
We
probably
can
still do.
change
He might
it.
win. He might win. I
see what
say.
you're
I
saying.
say there needs to be
So you're
one.
saying your question is democracy allowing every single person to have equal amount of free speech and power, or are you saying only the people that are educated and necessarily have good hearts and by whose standard have the ability to make decisions? And it's who's going to be the judge of that? Like where, what's the key? Like what are we judging by? Who decides what that key is? It's like society goes against when they don't like something. Everyone can team up together and say like, yeah, we don't support that. And it's great with like what we're seeing with crypto and stuff like that. You're able to like put your money where you want to support things if you don't like the way like certain things are being done, then it's decentralized.
I believe in one overarching spotlight or highlight of this entire
Can I just
conversation.
say one thing for this
well,
part?
I'll just finish this and then go.
Okay.
It's part of this.
All right.
I think the overarching belief needs to be, and guiding light always needs to be, if what you are trying to pursue has a negative effect directly on the lives of someone else, then that is an irrational school of thought and should be discarded.
Yes.
As long as every single philosophy, every single form that you come up with for society, for yourself, for your life, follows that one guiding principle, then we would all end up in a great place.
So we didn't get to hear George's statement after that because he did want to say something, so we're not sure what it is now. I'll have to watch the whole thing to catch what George had to say after that. So that is it for this one, guys. Chantel, Jeffries. Society isn't real. I believe it is real, and yes, it's ever evolving because it used to be that, you know, cavemen conked each other on the head. Now we're in the technological age of crypto and Bitcoin and stuff like that. Consider liking, subscribing. If you dislike the video, please dislike it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.